Hello, everyone, and welcome. Meteorologist Shane Smith here, joining you live on YouTube and Facebook. It is Thursday, February 19th, 2026. Hope you are doing well. Been a little bit of a busy day of weather across the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Things are a little calmer right now, but there is a potential for a few storms overnight, and we are watching the potential of snow this weekend. So I figured I would jump on here, answer your questions. I apologize I was not on earlier when we had those severe thunderstorm warnings in eastern Kentucky, but today was kind of a big day, friends. Today was the second anniversary of adopting my son Eli. Me and Amanda adopted him 2 years ago today, so I wanted to spend a little time with him this evening celebrating that. So Darlene Early joining us from London, asking, are we going to get any snow this weekend? Yes, Darlene, I am expecting a little bit of snow. We're going to talk about that here in just a minute. We are going to address the overnight thunderstorms first and then get to the snow, but we will be touching on that during this broadcast tonight. And I can tell you, maybe a little light accumulation. Still some questions. It's still early. We still got to get through this system tonight. But there is the potential for a little bit of snow this weekend. Hard to believe we're going from temperatures that topped out in the 70s today, and we may be dealing with thunderstorms for your Sunday forecast. So right now, we'll take a quick look at our Kentucky camera network, and you can see that it's not too terribly bad out across the Commonwealth right now. We've got a few renegade thunderstorms scattered the map. Most of the intense severe weather has been off to our north tonight, and thoughts and prayers up for the folks up in Indiana. They have been absolutely rocked tonight by the severe weather. Not too many active warnings right now. We do have one up in Ohio, just east of Dayton, and also one just southwest of Murray, Kentucky, west of Clarksville, Tennessee. That will likely start traveling up just east of Land Between the Lakes. That's going to head up over towards Hopkinsville and probably shoot north of Russellville and Bowling Green over the next little bit. We can put the radar into motion and kind of show you how the overall development of this system is going. We do have that cold front, which is currently off to the west. Let me see if I can pop the fronts back on here. And you can see that front just off to our west. We will see more thunderstorms initiate ahead of that front tonight. We're already seeing some of that right now. Southwest of Lexington over towards Springfield, Bardstown, E-Town, over towards the heart of Kentucky Bourbon Country. Pretty good little cells. Nothing severe, just some light to moderate rain with those, but we will see more in the way of widespread thunderstorms come in later tonight as that front works in. I am expecting a line of thunderstorms. Getting a couple of questions. Austin Kendrick on YouTube asking, will it rain tonight and tomorrow in Pikeville? Yes, Austin. Going to be after midnight, so it will be tomorrow. But you guys over in Pikeville will see some storms tonight. Maria Roark asking, can we sleep tonight in Corbin? Yes, just make sure you got a way to get warnings on your phone tonight. I'm not expecting any tornado warnings in southern Kentucky tonight, but we may see a couple severe thunderstorm warnings. We could see some heavy rain, some gusty winds, and some intense lightning, especially in the Corbin area around 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. We're going to take a look at the future radar here in just a second, Maria, to map that out for you. I do, before we go to that, want to talk about the active watches and warnings right now. So you can see we do have a tornado watch off to our north. The tornado watch for Kentucky was allowed to expire at 9 o'clock, and the Storm Prediction Center not really looking at expanding that tornado watch southward, so that is some good news. And it doesn't look like we're going to get a severe thunderstorm watch in southern Kentucky as of right now, so we'll wait and see how that plays out. I still think 1 or 2 storms tonight in southern Kentucky may go severe. Let's talk about why I think that. Here is the HRRR forecast model, the high resolution rapid refresh. This is one of my favorite short range forecasting models. We're going to go ahead and fast forward to 11 o'clock tonight, and you can see over the next 2 hours, it looks like we're going to see quite a bit of development from Moorhead back to Bowling Green ahead of that frontal system. Now, these will likely not be full severe, or if they get to severe limits, they're just going to barely get above severe limits. So these don't look like the most powerful of thunderstorms, but we could see one or two of these spike up over severe limits. Remember, a severe thunderstorm is one that has 58 mile per hour winds or 1 inch diameter hail. And with some of these storms spiking up tonight, could we see a few gusts in excess of 50 to 60 miles per hour? It's certainly possible. So right now we're looking at a pretty good little line of storms moving into some different major populated areas in Kentucky around 11 o'clock tonight. So let's just call some of those out. So Moorhead, you're probably going to have some pretty good thunderstorms here in about an hour and a half or so if this model is to be believed and everything initiates like it looks like it will. Somerset, you'll probably have some off to your north. That'll include Mount Vernon, also some back towards Monticello, Tompkinsville, Bowling Green, Hopkinsville. That line will develop and continue to push eastward through the overnight. So now here we are at midnight Eastern time. You can see a broken line of thunderstorms, if this model is correct, extending from Ashland to Hazard, back to London, down towards Lake Cumberland, and a little secondary squall line with some pretty intense returns showing up down near Glasgow and Bowling Green. And I don't like that little notch I see there near Bowling Green from that cell. I hope this model is wrong on that regard. But that is showing at least one or two of those storms being on the more intense side of things. Here we are at 1 a.m. You've got a strong line of thunderstorms in the Big Sandy from Prestonsburg over to Pikeville, extending back towards Hazard and Hyden, down to Manchester and London. We're still probably seeing moderate to heavy rain at this point. Corbin, you may have a noisy thunderstorm in your neck of the woods around 1 o'clock. Same story up in Mount Vernon and Berea. Danville, you'll be seeing heavy rain. Stanford, also some decent thunderstorms likely to move in around 1 o'clock in the morning. Liberty, Science Hill, Columbia, just be on the lookout between 1 and 2 as that line moves on through. Here we go forward to 2 o'clock. You still got some heavy rain in Pikeville, West Liberty back over towards Beattyville, Berea, Frenchburg, seeing some heavier precipitation at that point. Mount Vernon and Stanford, Columbia, Tompkinsville, all seeing the thunderstorms working through at that point at 2 o'clock in the morning. We go on to 3 o'clock. You've got that line from Paintsville to London back towards Lake Cumberland. It continues to push forward. Here is 4 o'clock in the morning. Corbin, you're probably going to have some pretty good rumbles of thunder at 4 a.m. in the morning. Williamsburg, same for you. Folks in Harlan, this is probably going to be a 5 or 6 a.m. wake-up call for you, although it does look like it weakens before it gets into the mountains along the Virginia border. Still some moderate to heavy rain possible in places like Hyden, Hazard, Hindman, up towards Pikeville, Whitesburg. You can see some heavy rain between 5 and 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. And then by about 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, we clear things out. So this will be on out of here by about 10 o'clock in the morning. So that most intense part comes in starting in the next couple of hours. So about 11 o'clock or so to 4 a.m. Is when we will see the most intense precipitation here into eastern Kentucky. You guys know, if you're just joining me, I normally cover central and eastern Kentucky. That's kind of my home base of operations. I am based out of London, Kentucky. So My wife Amanda asking, would this be good sleeping weather in London, or would this be a night where I need to watch the woman who gives her kid a whistle and frozen cash for a snowstorm? No, we're. I don't think we're in that quiet mode, but I do think this shouldn't be a major event overnight. It's going to be some loud thunderstorms. There's going to be some gusty winds. There's probably going to be some thunder and lightning. But as far as like significant severe weather tonight in southern Kentucky, I think the chances of that are really, really small. Maria Roark asking, a lot of people are saying tornado threat for tonight is almost zero. How true is that? Well, we can pop that up there, Maria. Give me 1 second. Actually, I'll just pop up NATOcast. 2% chance according to the NATOcast model. So, close to zero, but not quite zero. Very, very low chances. I can't completely rule it out, but I think overall, I'm honestly a lot more concerned tonight about the wind than I am tornadoes. And it's not that I'm overly concerned about the wind. What I'm concerned about is where those trees got weakened a couple of weeks ago. I'm afraid some of those branches may come down with some of those gusts, and that could cause some power outages tomorrow morning. Got a question about how much rain we could see. Hold on 1 second, and I will be happy to pull that data up for you. Forgive me, folks. We're going to do just a little bit of graphic producing on the fly. I still need to total preset. There we go. Let me pop on point. Still got to get a couple of presets made. So there is the forecast rainfall tonight, Ruby, from the HRRR model. That takes us through 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So not a ton. Some spots may pick up a quarter to a half inch overnight. Jasmine Wilkerson asking about the brown area for Danville. Hang on, and I will pull that back up. Let me take the radar data off for just a second. Okay, so this is the NATOcast model. This is a model's interpretation of the chance of a tornado within 25 miles at this time frame. And it is showing in the yellow a 10% chance, in the brown a 5% chance, in the light green a 3% chance, in the dark green a 2% chance, and then the gray a 1% chance. It does okay. It's not exactly always accurate, but it gives you an idea, is how I would describe how I use that. If we were going to see anything like that in Danville, it would likely be in the next hour or two, Jasmine. Do you think we'll see thunderstorms tomorrow for Pikeville? Yeah, Austin, it's going to be overnight. It'll be early Friday morning. Etta Jones asking, will Lilly, Kentucky see severe weather tonight? Etta, I can't completely rule that out, but I think it will be very small chances. I don't think we'll see like major severe weather tonight in southern Kentucky or central Kentucky. I think we may have one or two storms spike up over severe limits. What I'm showing y'all is the future radar as of 10 o'clock, so about 30 minutes from now. And honestly, unless we start to get some more popping, I don't know that we're going to quite get there. We're going to have to wait and see. Let's pop the radar back up, see how we're doing. Yeah, we're starting to get a few storms popping. Let me turn the front off on that. I'm going to have to do like my buddy Ryan and figure out how to hot button all those. So if you guys have questions, please feel free to ask. If you like what you're hearing, hit that like button or the share button. It helps out a lot. And if you want to ask a question and get my attention or show some support for the channel, stars are available on Facebook, and super chats are now available on YouTube. And we are getting very close to crossing that 1,000 subscriber mark on YouTube. So I'm super excited about that. Austin asking, am I going to post more weather on Facebook tomorrow? We'll probably have a few updates. Austin, I don't know if I'll get to do a whole video because I got to go to bed early tomorrow because I am filling in at WKYT in Lexington this weekend. So you guys can turn on the old television and see me do the weather Saturday and Sunday morning up at WKYT. Harold Turner asking about Hazard tonight. I do suspect Hazard will see some thunderstorms tonight, Harold. Let me pull up the future radar. Looks like sometime between about midnight and 1 a.m. Let me go to the latest run. Yeah, it's still kind of showing that. This is the hot off the presses HRRR run. Here's what it's showing at 11 o'clock, midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. So that is literally the newest data that has come into my system. That updates every hour. James Overbay asking, will London be okay? It looks like to be a big storm around 1. Well, yeah, between midnight and 1, it does look like London could see some storms, James. I'm not expecting anything super severe. We could barely spike up over severe limits. There could be some gusty winds, some intense lightning, some heavy rain. Could even be a few power outages. Penny, same story up the road in Livingston. But I'm not expecting what we saw last May. I know a lot of folks in London are very weather anxious right now. I get it. I know we've got that anniversary coming up in 3 months. We just had the 9-month anniversary a couple days ago. So I know folks are very, very anxious about the weather in London. I'm not expecting anything major overnight, but a few strong thunderstorms definitely in the realm of possibility. Sasha asking about Harlan. Sasha, it looks like Harlan will see some heavy rain later tonight. I don't think we'll see much in the way of thunderstorm action. Maybe a brief round of thunderstorms around 5 or 6 in the morning down in Harlan, and then it quickly moves out. I don't think Harlan's going to see a lot of action tonight. So if you have questions about your location, post them in the chat, either on Facebook or YouTube. And we'll probably take another minute or two to talk about severe weather, and then we're going to shift over and talk about some winter weather for the weekend, because I know a lot of folks are anxious about that winter weather forecast. Bell County, Jason, kind of the same story as Harlan. Got a question from about Corbin that just came in. So Corbin, I suspect y'all will probably see your first thunderstorm around 1 in the morning or so. Bell County, it looks like y'all don't get yours until about 4 or 5 in the morning. We will probably see a second round of thunderstorms about 3 or 4 in the morning in Corbin, if this latest model's to be believed, Gabby. Austin, thunderstorm may wake you up. Don't know that it'll quite be midnight. I think it'll be a little later than that, about 3 or 4 in the morning up in Pikeville. Jasmine, not overly concerned about Danville tonight, especially where you guys have that rain kind of breaking out right now in your neck of the woods. We can, let's switch back over to the radar real quick. Show you what's going on right now. That's all future radar. Here's the current radar loop. Actually, switch it back over to single site. For Danville, we probably want Louisville. Yeah, so y'all got a little bit of a thunderstorm popping to your southwest of Danville right now. It'll be moving north of town up towards Harrodsburg in about 45 minutes from now. So 10:30 or so, give or take. I'm going to switch this over just to regular reflectivity since we're tracking just rain and no winter weather tonight. Marjorie asking about Williamsburg. I'm not too worried about Williamsburg tonight. Marjorie, you guys will probably have a few thunderstorms overnight. Gabby, there is a small tornado risk, but it is very, very small. It's less than 2%. I'm not expecting many tornado warnings tonight. Could we get a quick spin up? Yes. Is it likely? No. Just have a way to receive warnings overnight. Have the EAS on your phone turned on. Have a way to get warnings. I recommend the WYMT or WKYT weather apps. I know my buddy Ryan Hall has Y'all Call Now. You can sign up for. So there are some services that will alert you on your phone. But I am not expecting much in the way of severe weather overnight tonight in Kentucky. In fact, the one storm that was warned that was getting ready to move into Kentucky has actually lost its warning back over towards Clarksville, Tennessee. Austin saying ready for nice weather. Me too, buddy. Me too. Happy to answer y'all's questions. What I'm here for. I am the meteorologist that does not mind answering the question, what's the weather going to do in my backyard? So happy to answer folks' questions as I can. All right, y'all ready to talk a little snow? Say it ain't snow, Shane. We're going to switch it over to the European model. Let me readjust this view real quick. Who here is sick of the snow? Throw the sunshine up in the chat if you're sick of the snow. If you want more snow, throw those snowflakes up in the chat. Let's see, do a quick little unscientific poll. If you're wanting spring weather, throw in the sun. If you're wanting more winter weather, throw in a snowflake into the chat. While you're doing that, let's talk about the weekend. So Friday, after the storms move out tomorrow morning, we're going to see a little bit of gusty winds, some clearing skies. Temperatures top out mid to upper 50s in the southern part of the state, probably low 50s up north. Saturday, a few scattered showers in the neighborhood early. Otherwise, partly cloudy. Temperature is going to vary. In northern Kentucky, you're going to see highs in the 40s, in southern Kentucky in the 50s. Cold front comes through Saturday night into Sunday, and then we tap into a very potent northwest wind. And that is going to cause snow to break out from north to south Sunday during the day. So Lexington, it'll probably break out for y'all 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning. It'll hit northern Kentucky first, say up around Covington between 7 and 8 in the morning. I'm seeing way more sunshines in the chat than the snowflakes. So I don't think a lot of folks are going to be a fan of this part of the forecast. By 1 o'clock, most of Kentucky east of Interstate 65 will be seeing snow, with the exception down in the Cumberland Valley. I think the far western end of the Cumberland Valley, y'all aren't going to get much. But from, we'll say, Highway 27 eastward, so take like Somerset up to Nicholasville east, best chance of snow on Sunday. And then it lingers into Monday morning, especially in eastern Kentucky. We're going to have a pretty good little upslope flow going into Monday that may even linger into the afternoon. Highs on Monday likely going to be below freezing, maybe upper 20s to low 30s. Tuesday morning, we wake up into the low 20s, top out back into the 40s. So it's not a super powerful cold front. It's not going to cool things down drastically for very long, but maybe some NTI days, maybe some cancellations and delays on Monday in eastern Kentucky. Oh, somebody asked how much. I knew that question was coming. I prepared. I did my homework. This is one model's take. This is not my forecast. This is the European model. And this is not taking into account melting, which we are going to have a warm and wet ground. So I would say eastern Kentucky, maybe an inch or two possible. Closer to I-75, maybe a dusting to an inch would be an early call. The European model was not as aggressive. The GFS says, hold my apple juice, let's put some snow down. Not buying that solution just yet, but I'm sure some folks are going to float that on social media. I'm not buying that one. Not yet. Canadian model has been on a roll and a half this winter. It's showing next to nothing. So we've got a very wide range in the model data this far out, which makes sense. It's too early to really dive into what we could be seeing in any kind of meaningful way. Just for funsies. We'll throw the new... actually, I don't think that variable is supported yet. We got some new models I'm playing with. Yep, that one's not loaded up yet either. So anyway, the bottom line, I don't suspect we'll see a ton of snow this weekend. I think the European model probably a pretty safe bet at this point. There we go. I have to go through and redo all my presets. They didn't update, but they changed a pretty big setting for these decimal places. There we go. Sorry, folks, having to do some graphic design on the fly. It's all good. So, not a ton of snow, but definitely enough that it could cause some slick spots for your Sunday evening or Monday morning commute. By the way, let me know how our microphone is sounding. I am testing out a new mic tonight. Got the Yeti mic in. Oh, somebody's got a new tornado warning. Let's go take a look at that. Just south of Dayton. Radar indicated tornado warning for Warren County, Ohio, Greene County, Ohio, and Montgomery County in Ohio. Just making sure that wasn't in Kentucky. You want to take a look at the extended forecast. Here's the extended forecast based out of London, but should cover a good chunk of central and eastern Kentucky. It'll be a little bit cooler Friday and Saturday. Like I said, highs into the 50s. Cold Sunday, Monday, a little definite taste of winter weather. We're back to near 40 on Tuesday. 50s return by the end of the week. And then still in kind of an up and down pattern. I don't think we're done with winter weather just yet, but I do think we're done seeing the prolonged cold snaps that we dealt with earlier in the winter. So if y'all have questions, please post those up in the chat. We are coming up on about 9 minutes till 10 o'clock. The plan is probably to stay on until about between 10:15 and 10:30, keeping an eye on the radar, see how things develop. We're going to do just a little quick comparison. So you see how the radar looks right now. That's how the HRRR says it should look. So it is overdoing a little bit of the convection. This is what it's saying the radar will look like at 11 p.m., midnight. So you're getting thunderstorms from like London up through Clay County, Lee and Owsley counties, back up into Breathitt County, Morgan County, Wolfe County. 1 a.m., Pikeville, it starts kicking down your door. Prestonsburg will be between 12 and 1 for y'all. Then we'll get that little second round through London, probably about 3 or 4 in the morning. That is a lot of shear. Sorry, I was looking at this storm it's trying to blow up in the next hour down towards Hopkinsville. I'm actually going to pull up radar out of Nashville or Fort Campbell. Take a look at that real quick. Yeah, nothing that's really making me worry too much there. New tornado warning up into portions of Ohio. This warning goes for Greene County until 10:30, so about 35 minutes on that warning. Guess it's this area right in here they may be worried about a little bit. It's not super tight rotation. Once again, that's up in Ohio, folks. So down here in Kentucky, we A-OK for now. So once again, if you're just joining us, my name is meteorologist Shane Smith. I'm based out of London, Kentucky. I typically cover central and eastern Kentucky. And we are watching thunderstorms developing off to our southwest, a couple blowing up into portions of south central Kentucky. The biggest energy still is up in Ohio, where they've got those tornado warnings. I am watching this line through here as it develops to see if it does anything. So that's why I'm live right now. I think once we get that line going and see what it does, we'll kind of decide if we're going to stay on for a bit or wrap it up. But if we're going to see severe weather in south central Kentucky, it will likely be in the next 30 minutes to an hour. We'll have a pretty good picture. Austin Kendrick asking, are we done with winter after this weekend? I don't think we're done just yet, Austin. I think it is going to be maybe one or two more chances in the next couple of weeks. So we got those 2 active tornado warnings up near Dayton, Ohio. No warnings in Kentucky. Watching to see if this line coming up out of Clarksville, Tennessee goes severe for our friends over in western Kentucky. And then, if that wasn't enough fun, snow this weekend. That's the European model. I think it's got a pretty good idea of what's going on right now. Not my forecast, but just letting you all see it, because I know every social meteorologist out there right now is sharing it. Y'all are smart. You can take the information given and make a decision with it. I'll tell you my 2 cents, and I think anybody showing the GFS right now is just doing it for clicks. The GFS has a very small chance of verifying on Sunday. Not saying it won't happen, but chances are against it. Besides, I think I know I'm a winter weather lover, y'all, and I'm done. Had my share. Thank you very much. Let's finish up school. Let's get the year over with. And for those of y'all that don't know, my day job used to be a full-time broadcast meteorologist, but 10 years ago, swapped into the classroom. It was actually almost 10 years ago to the day. I first started subbing for Laurel County Schools in March of 2016 and became a full-time teacher in August of 2016. I've been teaching media arts for the last 10 years in Laurel County, Kentucky. But still do the weather thing on the side and digitally. Also, if you are popping over to the channel from where Ryan Hall gave me that shout out earlier, Ryan Hall was my intern. That is my claim to meteorological fame. He was my intern back in 2014. Ryan has created something awesome up there in Pikeville, made just an amazing weather YouTube channel, and don't know that I'll ever get quite to his stature, but definitely trying to make something cool for digital weather here in Kentucky. And appreciate all y'all's support. So if you like what what we're doing here, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, share it. Stars and super chats are appreciated. So once again, right now we're just kind of babysitting the radar. The chances of severe weather are low tonight. They are not zero, but they are low. The biggest part of the energy in the atmosphere is still off to the north. Do want to swap over. You can see they did trim that tornado watch back into portions of Indiana and Ohio, so we don't have anywhere in Kentucky currently under a tornado watch. We do have those 2 tornado warnings just south of Dayton. We are watching this thunderstorm as it tracks up out of Tennessee, just north of Clarksville, over towards Hopkinsville. You can pull up the old Fort Campbell radar because it's pretty much right on top of it. So Hopkinsville, you'll probably have a little bit of a thunderstorm in your backyard here in the next 15-20 minutes. Oak Grove, same for y'all. There may be some gusty wind in there. Not seeing anything on the velocity scope that makes me super fearful or worried. Play a little game just to see if the chat's working. Let me know when you think we'll see our first 80-degree day in Kentucky this spring or summer. We've already hit the 70s, so let me know in the chat when you think we'll hit our first 80-degree day. Got a flash flood warning that just went up for portions of Ohio. I am personally thinking it'll be sometime in April we'll see our first 80-degree day. Seeing a few showers popping between Lebanon and Danville. It's probably going to move north of Danville over towards Harrodsburg. Likely follow just north of 68 up into Lexington here after a while. Good news is these storms that are popping in central Kentucky are behaving. We did work over the atmosphere quite a bit earlier with the rain. Alright, let's see some of y'all's guesses. Silver Compton thinks March 27th. Whoa! Going for a March 80-degree day. Austin Kendrick saying May. Curtis and Chanel Lewis saying May 3rd. Vontila Dill saying March 20th. Okay. Tiffany Turner asking about what to expect tonight in Corbin, Kentucky. Tiffany, we can show you the good old future radar. Give me 1 second. I'll get that pulled up for you. Austin, you will likely have some rain around 1 a.m. Maybe even a little before that. Okay, Corbin. Probably going to see a thunderstorm roll in between midnight and 1 o'clock this morning, and then another one around 4 o'clock in the morning. So 2 thunderstorms likely tonight for Corbin. Neither of them looking particularly severe, but some heavy rain, some gusty winds, and some lightning. Definitely a possibility, Tiffany. My pleasure. And y'all, bear with me. I'm going to be kind of tweaking the setup as we go into the spring for the live stream. Try to get some things streamlined. We're learning, we're growing together. So right now, the bulk of the action is up into Ohio. We do have more thunderstorms developing off to our west. The cold front still off to the west. You can see that line starting to fire up kind of from like Bloomington back down towards like Shreveport. You're starting to see thunderstorms fire up ahead of that line. That's roughly where our cold front is. So we're going to see thunderstorms fire up ahead of that front tonight, push eastward. Because it is during the overnight hours, we don't have that heating of the day to help fuel the thunderstorms. That is a good thing. We did work over the atmosphere a little bit earlier today with some rain in portions of central and eastern Kentucky. So I think the chances of severe weather are low. Not zero, but low. Not very long, Austin. Just a couple hours, and I think by about 9-10 o'clock up your way, it should be out. Shout out to Bojangles, not sponsored, but grab some dinner there on the way home from celebrating Eli's adoption day. And I gave up Diet Mountain Dew for Lent, so Pepsi Zero, my drink of choice tonight. So once again, if you're just joining us, it is almost 10:10. I'm meteorologist Shane Smith. I'm based out of London, Kentucky. I've been covering the weather professionally since 2008, and cover the weather in central and eastern Kentucky on social media, and also fill in occasionally for WKYT in Lexington, WYMT in Hazard, the Gray Media television stations in central and eastern Kentucky. And we're tracking just a little bit of thunderstorm action developing. We're going to probably go until about 10:15, and if this storm doesn't really start blowing up here in the next few minutes, we'll probably go ahead and call it. Let me pull something up real quick. So if you're wondering what app or program I'm using to display my model data, this is Aguacero Weather. Still love that Mountain Dew, Austin. Just giving it a little break for Lent. So one of the nice things about Aguacero Weather is it actually has access to the 15-minute version of the HRRR model. So it shows things in a little bit more detail. This is the newest run for it. It's really trying to blow some storms up. Don't think we're quite getting there. This is what it says the radar should look like in 5 minutes. And this is what the radar currently looks like. Don't think we're getting there. But it is interesting to be able to compare some of these different sources of data as they come in. And if you're a weather enthusiast, really highly recommend Aguacero Weather. Really good platform. Thank you, Harold. Yeah, I don't know if I believe this latest run of the HRRR. It's like trying to show a little monster cell. They're around Manchester at 11 o'clock and southwest of Bowling Green. We shall see. The models are good. They're guidance. They're not gospel. So, as we wrap this up, just to recap, we will likely see some strong thunderstorms develop overnight in south central and southeastern Kentucky. Not expecting many of them to be severe. One or two may go severe warned. Remember, a severe thunderstorm has 58 mile per hour winds or 1 inch diameter hail. Love it, Austin. Love it. Once we get into the overnight, storms should weaken as they move eastward after this initial development. Should be out of here by 8, 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. We're into the 50s for highs tomorrow and Saturday. Sunday, snow, central and eastern Kentucky. Best chances of accumulation. Eastern Kentucky, Big Sandy Valley, along US 23. Y'all, early call, maybe an inch or two. Way too early call. We'll see how it goes. Got a sneaking suspicion Sunday may be a first alert weather day on WKYT. Just FYI. We'll see. That's my buddy Chris Bailey's call, not mine. So, any final questions before we wrap this thing up here in the next minute? I will watch the radar for about the next 45 minutes or so. If this thing does start to spike up, I may jump back on here. The only area I'm really concerned with right now is down around between Clarksville and Bowling Green. We may examine that storm real quick before we wrap it up. It's pretty much right on top of the Fort Campbell radar right now. So we have a really good look at what's going on in it. No rotation whatsoever, which is great news. There's a decent amount of thunder and lightning with it, but I'm not seeing any kind of like crazy wind signature or crazy hail signature. Just a good old strong February thunderstorm. That'll be moving into Bowling Green here in about the next 45 minutes to an hour. Starting to see a few cells pop up in Lake Cumberland, just as some of the models were showing. So yeah, we may stick around just for a second since we've got that convection, initiating. You got a couple of thunderstorms trying to pop down in Lake Cumberland. The good news is in eastern Kentucky, where we did have the strong thunderstorms earlier, that should have worked over the atmosphere quite a bit. And shouldn't limit any kind of severe potential in eastern Kentucky tonight. Also, keep folks up in Indiana in your thoughts and prayers. They got hit pretty hard. Especially around Bloomington, Indiana. So once again, we're just babysitting the radar right now for a little bit. I'll switch it over to the Louisville radar. That kind of gives us the best view of everything at once right now. Yeah, our storm over near Hopkinsville and Fort Campbell. Oak Grove, a little bit of lightning with it. Got a little bit of a cell trying to pop now near Burkesville. That's when I head over to Lake Cumberland here in the next little bit. Also got a little cell down near Monticello trying to pop. Decent little cell right now northeast of Harrodsburg. That's when I head up towards Wilmore. So you folks over at Asbury, be on the lookout. That'll eventually head into the south side of the Lexington Metro here in about the next 30 minutes. North side of Lexington over towards Georgetown. A little bit of a shower. Not seeing any lightning with that. Frankfort to Shelbyville. A little light cellage popping up. Sorry, folks, trying to dial in my radar. Just taking a look at the last hour of the radar imagery. Just see, you got a couple cells popping up. That one near Wilmore's getting a little intense. A little bit of lightning showing up with that one. Do I think we'll see thunder and lightning tonight in Pike County? I do, Austin. I do. If y'all see me looking over, I've got a chat pulled up on my phone, so. Really nothing showing up on the camera network right now. No active warnings in Kentucky, although we do have a couple of special weather statements back over towards Bowling Green for that cell near Fort Campbell. Just sitting here looking at the radar data, seeing how all this is going to pop up. Yeah, the HRRR model is definitely struggling a bit with the convection, how to handle everything tonight. It's basically overdoing the convection. It's trying to blow up too many storms. You get something called convective feedback with the modeling. Is basically what happens is it starts blowing up storms, and then that causes more storms to blow up. Some of the models, especially the mesoscale models, struggle with that, and I think they're struggling with that tonight. I think they're overdoing the amount of storms and the intensity that we're going to see. Alright, y'all. So, I'm going to go ahead and say we're going to go ahead and put an end to the stream for now. If we start getting some warnings popping up, I may pop back on. I'll have updates on the winter weather throughout the weekend. So, take care. Stay weather aware. I'm meteorologist Shane Smith.